My thumb hovers over the bright red send button. It's 10:30 at night, and here I am in my Chevy Silverado 3500, engine idling, headlights off. The truck blends into the shadows along the edge of the Sterling estate. Through the windshield, I spot them on the terrace, Alistair and Beatrice, my parents. Champagne glasses in hand, catching the light just so. Their laughter floats out across the perfect lawn I used to mow for free. My phone screen glows in my lap. Project Ironwood, execute eviction. I grip the steering wheel so tight my knuckles ache. The truck stinks of pine bark and diesel, clay ground into the floor mats, my boots leaving prints on the pedals. I whisper to the glass I was going to save you. But then I heard what you said. 15 hours ago, I was pruning a Japanese maple when Beatrice called. No hello, no greeting. Just Delilah, her voice sharp as shears. I need you to bring the juniper bonsai tonight. I stopped mid-cut, phone jammed between shoulder and ear. The greenhouse was humid, glass walls fogged over. My hands were still dirty from repotting orchids all morning. The Gala's tonight? I'd asked. Obviously. 35 years of the Sterling Fine Arts Gallery. We're expecting investors. She paused, then her tone shifted. That familiar, awful patience. Like she was explaining basic math to a child. You owe us this much, Delilah. After everything. After everything. The words sat heavy in my chest. I looked at the bonsai. 7 years' work, a national competition winner, worth $22,000. Each branch bent just right, needles exactly where they should be. It sat in the afternoon light, roots holding tight to soil I'd mixed myself. It's not really right for a centerpiece, I said. It needs specific conditions. Don't be difficult. Her voice went cold. We're cash poor and we need to impress the Cavendishes. Bring the tree. 7 o'clock. She hung up before I could answer. I should have said no. Should have laughed and gone back to work. But I didn't. I stood in my greenhouse, surrounded by 300 plants I'd raised from nothing. Owner of a business that cleared $250,000 last year. And suddenly, I felt 14 again. 14, when I gave up my art scholarship so Jasper could go to private school. Alistair patted my shoulder. That's my girl. Family first. I never got another scholarship. Jasper got his finance degree. The pattern's always the same. I help, they take. Never the other way around. But maybe this time would be different. If I brought the bonsai, if I showed up with something valuable, maybe they'd finally see me. Really see me. I actually whispered it to the empty greenhouse. I wrapped the bonsai in cloth and loaded it in the truck. At 7:20, I pulled up at the Sterling estate. Not the main drive with the fountain, but the back, where the caterers park. Jasper was waiting, leaning against the stone wall in designer shoes that probably cost more than my truck payment. He watched me park, then came over and knocked dirt off my tire with his fancy shoes. Stay out of sight tonight, he said. The adults are doing business. I'm 28. He's 31. But in his eyes, I was still a kid. The help. I swallowed what I wanted to say and started unloading the bonsai, 50 pounds of tree and ceramic, all on my own. Jasper just watched. While I backed the truck in, I glanced at the main entrance. The Cavendishes arrived early, black Rolls-Royce, old money written all over them. I saw it right away, the way they whispered, a quick eyebrow raise as Alistair greeted them too loudly. He laughed too hard. His tux was nice, but the cuffs were fraying. The Sterling reputation was already cracking. Alistair didn't see it. Beatrice appeared at the service door as I climbed the steps with the bonsai. She didn't help or even hold the door. You're late, she said. And couldn't you have worn something presentable? I looked down at my Carhartts, my flannel. I'd come straight from a job site, hands still smelling like cedar chips. For a second, I almost turned around, thought about going home to change. But I steadied myself. I'm delivering a tree, Mother. Not attending your party. Her mouth tightened, lips pressed thin. But I didn't back down. Didn't fall into the old routine. Small victory. Alistair showed up behind her, barely looked at me, just zeroed in on the bonsai. This will do, he said, checking the branches. The Cavendishes appreciate Eastern aesthetics. No thank you. Not even a nod that I just handed over a $22,000 centerpiece for nothing. Jasper trailed us inside, smirking. At least she's good for something. My hands shook as I put the tree down on the main hall table. The truth hit me hard and clean. My family takes. That's all they do. They never give anything back, never. Now I'm sitting in my truck, parked in the dark. I stare at my phone. My thumb hovers, frozen. Through the windshield, I see Alistair raise his glass, Beatrice laughing at some joke from a guest. They don't know I'm out here. They don't know what I'm about to do. I hit send. A memory sparks, 7:45. I'm inside, setting the bonsai on the big table, tweaking the angle so the twisted trunk faces the entrance. I run my fingers over the lowest branch, checking if it's dry. The pot leaves a wet ring on the polished granite. That's when I hear them. Alistair's voice drifts from the private viewing room, the doors cracked open. Then a burst of microphone feedback slices the quiet and settles down. They're testing the sound system. Slide 16. Perfect. I freeze, still touching the branch. The wood feels smooth, bark softened by 7 years of working it. Jasper's voice pipes up, echoing through the speakers. The visuals tell the story we need. There's something in the way he says it that makes me stand up straighter. I should get back to work. Finish setting up and sneak out the service door, like usual. But I edge closer instead. I catch myself in the hallway mirror, flannel shirt, Carhartts with clay on the knees, hair yanked back in a no-nonsense ponytail. I look exactly like someone who works with her hands. The slideshow clicks once, twice. Through the door crack, the projector glows in the dim room. Jasper stands there in a sharp suit, holding some crystal award. The caption says, "The Visionary. Jasper Sterling receives Young Financier of the Year award." Click. Next slide. It's me. I'm covered in river silt, mud smeared on my face, kneeling by a koi pond, laughing at something off camera. My work clothes are filthy. My hair's half out of its tie. I look happy, honest, just in the moment. I remember that day. Last fall. The Wellington's backyard pond had clogged up. I spent 4 hours elbow-deep in muck and lily roots. Mr. Wellington snapped that photo, said I looked like I was having the time of my life. Alistair's voice breaks through. It's his presentation voice, smooth, practiced, the one he uses to close deals. "We'll tell the investors," he says. "This is why we don't let children play in the dirt." He pauses, milking it. "It proves we have standards." Jasper laughs. His laugh bounces around the room. "Should we mention she charges people for this?" He's loving it. Actual money for manual labor. They're both cracking up, working on the timing, making sure the joke will land when the investors show up. My breath catches. The bonsai branch slips from my hand. Alistair goes on. The contrast is essential. Jasper's sophistication versus, he pauses, whatever Delilah is doing with her life. The words just hang there. Cold. Calculated. This isn't just mean. It's a plan. She's our cautionary tale, Jasper says. Proof that the Sterlings have standards. That we recognize quality. The Cavendishes will get it, Alistair adds. They'll see we're not sentimental about failure. My hand finds the wall. The plaster's cool and steady. I need something solid, because the whole place feels like it's tilting. This isn't about me, not really. It's not about teaching me a lesson. I'm just a prop. A before and after photo. The muddy girl in the slideshow who makes Jasper look better by comparison. Every investor in that room will see it. The Cavendishes. All of Chestnut Hill's old money. They'll laugh at the girl covered in mud who thinks she matters. I catch my reflection again. Same flannel, same Carhartts. But the woman staring back at me isn't the one who walked in here an hour ago. Something sharp settles in my chest, a kind of clarity. I don't care about their approval anymore. I'm not angry yet. Just sure. I'm not their daughter tonight. I'm their visual aid. My hands don't shake as I head back to the hall. The bonsai is right where I left it. $22,000 worth of patience. 7 years' work. I pick it up, 50 pounds of pot, soil, and living wood. The weight feels right in my arms. Nobody sees me slip through the service hall. The caterers are buried in the kitchen, the florists busy with centerpieces in the side rooms. I shoulder open the service entrance. A caterer looks up from his van. He can't be more than 22. He glances at my face, then at the bonsai tree in my arms. "Miss Sterling, is everything all right?" he asks. My voice stays calm, too calm. The centerpiece won't work after all. He reads something in my face, doesn't push, just nods and goes back to unloading champagne flutes. It's a small thing, but it sticks with me. Just basic decency, standing in sharp contrast to the mess with my family. The truck's right where I left it. I settle the bonsai in the bed, wrap the blanket around the pot. My hands know exactly what to do. I've moved this tree 100 times. The engine fires up on the first try. Through the windshield, I see the main hall. The display table is empty now, just a ring of condensation where the tree sat. The clock on the dash says 8:15. Guests show up in 30 minutes. My phone buzzes. Beatrice's name lights up, but I mute it. As I pull onto Magnolia Drive, the tears finally hit. My hands are shaking on the wheel, adrenaline washing out, leaving me raw. But underneath the grief, something else is starting to harden. Something colder than anger. I didn't just reclaim a tree, I got a piece of myself back. By 8:45, I'm pulling into the gravel lot at Verdant Vistas. The greenhouse glows amber in the dusk, glass panels catching the last light. My hands are still trembling. The Silverado ticks as it cools. I sit there a minute, staring at the place I built from nothing, 3 acres under glass, 5 employees, almost $1.2 million in revenue last year. None of it matters right now. Movement catches my eye. Mitch and Renee are still here, working late on the Armstrong job. Mitch is loading slate slabs into the company truck, Renee's coiling irrigation line. They spot me, stop what they're doing. Mitch comes over first, gloves on, worry etched into every line of his face. He's 64, been with me since day one. "Boss, what happened?" I try to answer, but nothing comes out. Renee appears at the passenger window, water bottle in hand. She doesn't ask, just opens the door and gives it to me. She's younger than Mitch, maybe 47, but has the same solid presence, the kind of person who knows when to talk, when to just be there. I take the bottle. My voice finally works. They were going to use me in a slideshow. Make fun of me in front of the investors. The words sound thin. They don't come close to what happened. I remember Alistair's voice, all fake charm, Jasper laughing. Mitch's joy tightens. Renee puts her hand on my shoulder, warm through my flannel. "Come inside," she says. We walk into the greenhouse. The air smells like peat moss and new growth. Rows of seedlings, every tray labeled in my handwriting. This place is real. This is mine. Not the Sterling Fine Arts Gallery, not their hollow prestige or unpaid debts. We head to the workbench. I lean against the potting table, still holding the water. "I asked Silas to come," I say. "In case things went bad tonight." "Good," Mitch says. He grabs a stool, gestures for me to sit. I shake my head. Too much adrenaline. Then Mitch kneels in front of me and starts unlacing my boots. "You don't have to," I start, but he's already wiping the clay off with a rag. He doesn't make them new, just gets the worst of the muck off. "Clean slate, boss." Or close enough. That hits deep. Alistair never cleaned anything. Never knelt for anyone. Never showed care in actions. Renee's hand stays on my shoulder. They're both just there. Waiting. Not asking for an explanation. Not rushing me. The greenhouse door swings open. Silas Thorne walks in, leather portfolio under his arm, suit still crisp from court. He's 55, my lawyer for 5 years. Sharp mind, sharper instincts. "Delilah," he says, setting the portfolio down. "Talk to me." So I do. I spill everything: Beatrice and the bonsai, the slideshow rehearsal, Alistair and Jasper's laughter, the empty table I left behind. Silas listens, doesn't interrupt. When I finish, he opens the portfolio and spreads out documents. "Ironwood Holdings, LLC," he says. Renee leans in. "What's Project Ironwood?" Silas glances at me. I nod. 8 months ago, he explains, Alistair's bank threatened foreclosure on the Sterling estate. They'd leveraged the property to the hilt. Delilah bought the distressed debt through a shell company I set up. Mitch lets out a low whistle. "You own their debt?" $285,000 in back rent and penalties, I say. My voice feels hollow. "I'm their landlord." They never knew. Renee squeezes my shoulder. Not judging. Just there. Steady. You were saving them, Silas says, his voice low. I thought if I just worked hard enough, proved myself, I stop. No point finishing. The truth's already out. They were never going to see you, Delilah. Silas is gentle, but there's steel in it. I've been telling you that for months. His words hit, real and heavy. He's right. He's always been right. I just couldn't hear it before. My phone buzzes. Beatrice. I let it ring once, twice, then pick up and hit speaker. Where's the tree? Her voice is so sharp Renee flinches. Guests are asking questions. I took it home, mother. Silence. Then she erupts. Selfish. Ungrateful. Trash. Embarrassment. Failure. She's been stockpiling these words for years, and now they all come spilling out. Mitch and Renee freeze, watching. You've ruined everything, Beatrice spits. Don't bother coming back. The line goes dead. The greenhouse is quiet except for the hum of the vents. Silas opens his laptop. I can email the eviction notice right now. His cursor hovers over send. The document's already there, all the legal armor 8 months in the making, one click from reality. But I shake my head. Email's too easy. He glances up. They want to humiliate me? My voice is harder than it's ever been. I want to see their faces when I take it all back. Renee jumps in first. What do you need from us? Say the word, boss. Mitch straightens up ready. Silas is already making plans. The gala ends at midnight. What's the move? Process server. I meet his eyes. Can you arrange one? He grins, actually grins. I know just the person. Everything in the room changes. We're not mourning anymore. We're ready. I stand, wipe my face with the back of my hand. Look at them. My lawyer. My foreman. My forewoman. This is my real family. Not the ones tied by blood, but the ones who show up when it's hard. They wanted me invisible, I say. They're about to see me, clear as day. Renee heads to the closet and pulls out a black dress, still wrapped in dry cleaner's plastic. You left this after the Industry Alliance dinner. I take it. Change right there in the greenhouse, because modesty's the last thing on my mind. Renee and Mitch look away, but Silas keeps working, already on the phone. The dress fits, knee-length, plain, nothing special. I lace up my boots underneath the hem. Silas hangs up. Process server will come as a late guest. Eviction notice is set. I'm thinking, keynote presentation, maximum effect. Mitch grins. This is some strategic thinking, boss. I learned from the best. I nod at Silas. Just not from them. By 9:40, I'm back in the Silverado. The dress feels odd over my work clothes, but the boots? They're perfect. My phone lights up. Project Ironwood. Execute eviction. Through the shops and galleries, I catch sight of the Sterling estate up on the hill. The terrace, where Alistair and Beatrice probably have their champagne, certain they've won. Alistair's arm around her, both laughing. They think I'm broken. I rest my hand on the wheel. I was going to save you, I whisper. But I heard what you said. My thumb hovers over send. Then I press it. The confirmation appears. Process server dispatched. ETA, 10:45 p.m. I start the engine. Diesel roars to life, steady and strong. I'm not heading back as a victim. I'm going back as the hunter. 10:20, I walk into the Sterling Fine Arts Gallery for the first time ever. The black dress Renee found is just right, schemes my knees, looks severe. But with every step, my work boots land heavy on the marble. No clay, thanks to Mitch, but the battered leather looks brutal against all the patent and silk. Old scars in a sea of new money. No one notices yet. They're all busy trying not to look at the centerpiece table. Someone stuck a crystal vase of supermarket white roses in the middle. It looks tiny, lost in all that grandeur. The water ring from the old bonsai is still there on the granite, if you know where to look. The place is packed. Investors in suits cluster by the bar. Cavendishes in a corner, judging everything. Chestnut Hills elite everywhere, champagne sparkling. Beatrice spots me first. Her face twists shock, then fury, then smooths out so fast I'm not sure I saw it. She crosses the room in 4 seconds flat, heels hitting the floor like gunshots. How dare you show your face? Her voice barely rises above a whisper, but it's sharp enough to cut. She's so close I can smell her perfume, overpriced, suffocating. I meet her eyes. I'm a Sterling. This is a Sterling event. Her hand clamps around my upper arm, her fingers digging in like she wants bruises as proof. You embarrassed us. That centerpiece cost us credibility. I stand my ground. Don't flinch. Did I? Or did you just embarrass yourselves? Across the room, the Cavendish matriarch is watching. Her face gives nothing away, but she's locked in. The whole room is actually. Beatrice's grip gets even tighter. Then Alistair clocks me. He freezes, champagne glass halfway to his mouth, and his eyes flick to Jasper at the podium. Something silent passes between them, something that makes me stand up a little straighter. Alistair heads for Jasper, quick and focused. They lean in, whisper. Jasper shoots me a grin, sharp as a knife. I know that look. They're not waiting for the keynote anymore. I see it in the way Jasper signals to the AV guy, the way Alistair's jaw sets. They're jumping ahead, and I know what that means. They want to punish me now, break me in front of everyone, before I can get a word out, before I can explain about the missing centerpiece. They want to shatter me for these investors. Jasper steps up to the mic. The feedback screeches once, then dies. The room goes quiet, that heavy kind of silence that presses on your skin. Before we begin our formal remarks, he says, his voice silky, practiced, I'd like to share something with you all. The lights go down. The huge screen behind him glows white, waiting. My heartbeat stays steady. I expected this. Ever since I caught them rehearsing earlier, I knew exactly what they thought of me. The first photo is Jasper, tailored suit, some fancy finance award, looking like the golden boy they all want him to be. Polite applause rolls through the crowd. Then my photo pops up. I'm kneeling in river silt, covered in pond muck, laughing at something Mitch said off camera. My hair's stuck to my forehead, my hands are black with dirt. I look happy, unguarded, not even aware I'm being photographed. The crowd gives this weird, awkward laugh, not mean yet, just waiting for someone to tell them how to react. Jasper leans into the mic. Some of us build legacies, he says, and gestures to his award photo. Others just dig holes. Laughter breaks out. Not nervous now, people are in on the joke. Alistair steps up, takes the mic. This is what happens when you reject education. The spotlight finds me, thanks, Jasper, and every head turns. Their judgment settles on me like a weight pressing down, squeezing the air out of my lungs. This is what they've been working toward. Total humiliation. Maximum exposure. I let my head bow, let my shoulders slump, hands twisting together like I'm holding myself in one piece. To Alistair, to Beatrice, to Jasper, I look exactly how they want me. Broken, beaten, remembering my place. Alistair and Beatrice trade glances, and I see it, the raw satisfaction in their eyes. Jasper leans back, grinning like he's already won. At the bar, I catch them out of the corner of my eye. Alistair grabs his champagne, Beatrice joins him. They clink glasses, crystal ringing soft and smug. Alistair leans in, voice just loud enough for me to hear. She needed to remember her place. Beatrice sips, lipstick marking the rim. Maybe now she'll appreciate what real success looks like. They're drunk on their own power, convinced they've shoved me back in my box for good. They don't see how exposed they are. Over by the Cavendish table, an older woman with pearls frowns at the screen. She leans toward her friend, voice pitched to Carrie. Seems unnecessarily cruel. The matriarch's face is all stone, no smile, no approval, just that unreadable look that says plenty if you know how to read it. Alistair's too focused on me to notice, too blinded by his own arrogance. He doesn't see the unease spreading through the room. I keep my head down, keep playing along. Then, quietly, I check my watch. 10:43, time. I look up, scanning faces until I spot Silas near the entrance. He's in a dark suit, blending in like he belongs. Our eyes meet. I give him the tiniest nod, almost nothing. He nods back, steps aside. The door behind him opens. A man in another dark suit comes in, moving like he owns the place. Doesn't look around, doesn't hesitate. Just walks straight ahead. I let my face go still. Something cold and final settles behind my eyes. Alistair's still at the podium, completely unaware, all smiles and confidence as he takes the microphone from Jasper. Now, about our investment opportunity, he starts. Meanwhile, the man in the dark suit keeps moving toward the stage. I don't move. My boots stay planted right there on the marble, scuffed and stubborn. Alistair stands up there like he owns the place. Stage lights flicker over his tuxedo jacket, catching on those threads of silver. He smiles, that same rehearsed grin I've seen 1,000 times, the one that says he's already won. The Sterling family, he says, voice smooth, represents 3 generations of refined taste. I'm still stuck in the middle of the room, right where the slideshow left me, head down, shoulders slumped, putting on the act. But I'm watching the door. Another man in a dark suit walks in. He's not drifting in like a late guest, he's got a purpose. His jacket's nice, but nothing flashy. Could be anyone. Jasper spots him first. I see my brother frown from across the room, tilt his head. He doesn't know the guy. Alistair doesn't either, he's busy rambling on about legacy and vision, all those empty words that built their paper castle. The process server moves down the center aisle. His shoes barely make a sound on the polished floor. Blends in with the rest, but there's no mistaking where he's headed. Right for the stage. Alistair stops mid-sentence, looks up, annoyed. He leans into the mic. Excuse me, this is a private event. The server just keeps walking, doesn't even blink. Like he's got all the time in the world. Alistair's voice gets sharper. Sir, you need to leave. The room goes quiet. Conversations drop off, snuffed out, everyone turning to stare. The server reaches the steps, climbs them slow and steady. Alistair's face goes red, voice sharper, blasting through those JBLs in the corners. Get the hell off my stage, you peasant. The crowd gasps. I spot the Cavendishes, eyebrows up, trading glances. There it is, the crack, the desperation, slipping through the cracks in Alistair's armor. But he's too busy trying to fight off the threat to notice. Do you know who I am? This is my gallery, my event. Every word blares out, his anger echoing around the room. The server stops, 3 feet away. He speaks calm, professional, and the microphone picks that up too. I know exactly who you are, Mr. Sterling. He reaches into his jacket. Alistair flinches, but it's just a legal envelope, thick, cream-colored, official seal catching the light. I am representing Ironwood Holdings. Alistair's anger slips, replaced by confusion. Ironwood what? You are being served with an immediate eviction notice. The words hang in the air. I watch them hit, heads turn, mouths open, shock rippling out. The server goes on, every word a hammer. For $285,000 in unpaid back rent and penalties. That number echoes. $285,000. High 6 figures. The kind of debt that stains everything it touches. Behind Alistair, my mud photo is still up on the screen, Delilah, covered in river silt, laughing. But now the whole picture's changed. The mud girl's holding their debt, and everyone knows it. Alistair's face turns white. All that anger drains out, replaced by something else. Fear, maybe. The Cavendishes stand up, both of them, napkins down with perfect precision. They walk out, not a word, not a glance back. Old money never runs, but they're gone, making their retreat before the scandal sticks. Other investors follow. I watch it happen, social suicide, unfolding just like Silas said it would. Alistair's worst nightmare, right in front of him. This is a misunderstanding, Alistair stammers into the microphone. The smoothness is gone. There's been a mistake. The server cuts in, voice hard as steel. Your lease is terminated effective immediately due to chronic non-payment. You have 72 hours to remove personal belongings. Beatrice's heels click across the floor. She's hurrying to the stage, dress swirling around her. Who owns Ironwood? I want to know. But the server's not done. Legal ownership transferred to Ironwood Holdings 8 months ago. All correspondence regarding the debt went to your attorney of record. Alistair grabs the papers, hands shaking so badly the envelope crumples. He stares at them, lost. Like he can't even read what's in front of him. I start walking toward the stage now. Not rushing, just a steady, unhurried stride. People make way for me, no one says a word. Their faces shift, gone is the look they used to give the mud girl. Now they see someone else. I stop at the foot of the stage and look up. Alistair's eyes find mine. I watch him put it all together, the exact second he gets it. His voice barely makes it out, even with the mic. You? I don't say sorry. I don't explain. I don't bother with excuses. I just look back at him, 3 solid seconds, and let him see everything he ignored, everything he wrote off. Then I turn away. My black dress sweeps around my legs, and for a split second, everyone sees my old work boots. I wore them on purpose. Never once apologized. Silas joins me as I head for the exit. He touches my back, quick, steady, grounding. At the door, I pause and look back at the room. The investors stare, frozen. Alistair's collapsed in a chair. Jasper stands beside him, lost. Beatrice's mouth hangs open mid-scream. I don't need a mic now, my voice rings out, clear and steady. The lease was always clear. I'm not your daughter right now. I let the silence work. Let them wait for what comes next. I'm your landlord. I walk out. Behind me, Beatrice finally screams, raw and broken. The sound of someone watching their world fall apart, ego shattered on that perfect floor. The door shuts. Silas and I step into the cool night. I don't look back. Next morning, 10 sharp, Beatrice's Mercedes pulls up to Verdant Vistas like she still owns the place. But she's wearing flats, not those Louboutins from last night. Flats. I spot her through the greenhouse glass, hands sunk in potting soil, pretending to fuss with a Japanese maple. The car door slams. Mitch meets her at the entrance. I hear him through the open windows, voice flat and all business. Boss isn't taking visitors. I need to speak with my daughter. Her voice cracks on daughter. Her makeup smeared, dress from last night all wrinkled. I set down my pruning shears, wipe my hands on my Carhartts, and step into the doorway. We need to talk, she says, eyes red. We're family. I don't even look up from the branch I'm trimming. Family doesn't humiliate family in public. Snip. Clean cut. A branch drops. Your father is devastated. She steps closer. Mitch shifts, blocking her. Jasper won't speak to anyone. How can you do this to us? Snip. Another branch. I focus on shaping the maple, turning it into something beautiful, something that'll take years. Patience. Discipline. We raised you better than this. That one almost hits home. Almost. But this is an old song. The guilt, the manipulation, the idea that I owe them more than the $285,000 they never paid me. I put the shears down, wipe my hands, pull a business card from my back pocket, edges soft from being carried around, just waiting for this moment. I walk over and hand it to her. Bankruptcy attorney. Local. Solid reputation. The lease was clear, Beatrice. I don't call her mom. Payment terms were generous. 8 months missed. We thought you'd understand. I'm not your daughter right now. The words come out clean and sharp. I'm your landlord. She just stares, hand shaking with the card. And you're trespassing. She leaves without a word. I stand there alone, thinking I'll never let anyone tear down what I've built. For months later, I'm out on the balcony, watching workers take down the Sterling Fine Arts Gallery sign. The metal scrapes against the brick, and, honestly, I don't feel a thing. No spark of pride, no sharp edge of regret. Just the sun warming my back, the solid heft of my own building steady under my feet. Verdant Vistas. Headquarters. Renee reads the new sign while the workers haul it up. I never pictured myself in an office with a view. Mitch shows up next, coffee already in hand. He hands me a cup without a word. He just knows. Boss. The $22,000 bonsai sits in the window, looking like it belongs there. I glance inside. The juniper glows in the eastern light, every needle clear. 7 years of work. Won the competition. Now it stands where everyone can see it. Where it should be. That's where it should be. That's what I say, almost out loud. Silas walks in with his leather portfolio, his footsteps echoing in the new place. He tells me Alistair and Beatrice signed the settlement this morning. Jasper's gone to Chicago. Didn't even leave an address. I nod, sip my coffee. The news just sort of lands and disappears. They're gone. I'm still here. That's enough. Behind me, the office walls are filling up with photos. Finished landscapes. Clients grinning in gardens I built with my own hands. No family pictures. Just the mud crew. Silas. The people who picked me. That counts as family. Business is booming. 5 new commercial contracts just signed last week. Later, after Silas leaves and the crew heads back to work, I stand alone on the balcony while the sun goes down. I look at my boots. Still dusty from the morning site visit. Still smeared with honest dirt. I remember Alistair's old joke about slideshows, just dig holes. I smile, and this time, there's no sting. Those holes became gardens. That mud built everything I'm standing on. Inside, the bonsai catches the last bit of sunlight. Its shadow stretches across my back, almost like wings. Dark certain. I reclaimed my garden, I whisper. My phone buzzes. New client. I answer right away. Verdant Vistas. Delilah Sterling speaking. My name. No apology. No shame. Just mine. The building glows in the twilight around me. Same balcony where they used to laugh and call me Mud Girl. Now it's mine. All of it. Openly, legally, completely.